Hey guys, welcome back. So make sure to check out links in the description too for current contests and giveaways going on. Also subscribe and share if you like the content of this channel as well. So continuing on with James Hudson, I want to talk about his first encounter with Sabretooth. And not just that, but overall his experience of finding out that Wolverine's his father. It's like everything just hits him so quickly at this point. And it's not like he's trained as well as Wolverine, but he just has to do the best he can with what he's got. Now, since I talked a bit about James Hudson and his background and his abilities, I want to talk a little bit about Sabretooth and a bit of his background. Not too much in depth with it, but just a little bit. So, over 25 years ago, him and Logan were together actually working for the Weapon X division of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the 1610 universe. And just like in any other universe, Creed and Howlett are at each other's necks. In this panel in particular, it shows where Creed is actually destroying Logan's files that will potentially bring him current with all his lost memories. Now, although there's different reasons in each universe, some when they're related, some when they're not, there's always a rivalry between these two. And usually it's because of Sabretooth causing some kind of trouble and provoking Logan to the point where they engage in combat. And usually with these two, Logan comes out on top unless Sabretooth cheats in some kind of way to win. Now, fast forward about 30 years or so, you'll also notice that Sabretooth doesn't age as well as Logan because Logan has a more hyperactive healing factor than Sabretooth. Because this image here is weeks, if not just days after Wolverine was killed by Magneto. And I have images of that in my previous video, I'll leave a link below. But you can tell in that video that the Logan that just passed looks the same as the Logan we just looked back at in the Weapon X days. But make no mistake, even though this Sabretooth is older, he is no slouch. He's looking for the first opportunity to tear somebody apart for no reason at all. But if you notice here, you have Karen Grant, who's actually Jean Grey, who's gone into hiding. And Jimmy's been looking for any X-Men he could find, and she's actually the first one that he ends up tracking down. And this was interesting to me because at first I was kind of like, well, how did he find Jean Grey? How did he know that she was Karen under a different identity? But then again, going back to the first issue of Ultimates where Logan had left a piece of Jean Grey's hair in the box of his belongings, it gave Jimmy something to go off of and find her scent and be able to track her down, which pretty much also saved his life as well too. And we'll see why in a minute. But at least at this point, he's starting to gain other mutant allies that he can call his friends. So later on that night, he heads to the corner store Buzz to get a drink, and of course he's underage, and the guy behind the counter is asking for ID. He doesn't have it. He's about to break the claws out, but he's like, it's not worth it. So when he steps outside, this other dude's already standing out there, and he makes James an offer. He's like, hey kid, you want me to go in there and buy it for you? And he's like, oh wow, okay, cool, yeah, I got the money, man, just go in there and get me some drinks. And this is why underage drinking is not a good idea. Because he gets his ass whooped, like no warning at all. He just goes for the jugular. I don't want your money, I want your life. I know who you are. I hated your father, and I hate you because you're your father's son. And he's telling him how he wanted Logan dead for so long and somebody else beat him to it. So he's expressing a lot of his rage, along with the rage, his frustration, because he was never able to get the best of Wolverine on his own. So he's taking it out on James. And this dude, tears him to shreds. Keep in mind that James, even though he has a healing factor like Logan, not sure if it's exactly as good, but he has a healing factor like Logan. He has the claws where he can have the organic metal cover his bones and everything, but at the same time, he's not a trained fighter like Logan. But still, he has that animal instinct in him because it's in his DNA, you know what I'm saying? But James does get one good swing in across his face, nearly taking his other eye out and cutting his nose off. But for Sabretooth, that's only enough to make him lose his footing a little bit, and he gains it back pretty quickly. But James is still immobilized. He's still ripped to shreds, laying there. He can't really do much of anything to defend himself. He even lost his shoe. Now, you're losing a fight when you lost your shoe. But anyway, Sabretooth gives it to him straight. He's like, hey, you're not as good as your father on his worst day. You're nothing like him, but I'm not about to wait for you to get better. I'm just going to end this right now. Then out the blue, you got some mysterious speedster who comes in and swooshes Sabretooth away, right in the nick of time, messing with the timeline. And I'll give you a hint, wasn't this guy. But ironically, going back to what I mentioned about James's luck having that strand of Jean Grey's hair, being able to find her, that it came in handy because she ended up later coming to his rescue and able to hide him in a motel to where they could kind of nurture him back to life. But at the same time, he lost a whole lot of blood here, so he's not really healing like he's supposed to. But as he's laying here, Jean's doing the best she can to kind of cover up the wounds, and at least stop as much bleeding as she can to give his healing factor a fighting chance to try and catch up, just hoping that it will catch up and that he'll recover. But what's hilarious to me that while all this is happening, I can't help but to think back a few issues to where James and Kitty were having that private conversation, and she was saying that you should be able to heal back from anything, and that you may even be stupid enough to take on the Hulk. And now I don't know about you guys, but when I think of Ultimates and I think of Hulk versus Wolverine, I think about this. And as you can see, this didn't go too well. And Jimmy's probably thinking, man, I could barely take Sabretooth. How the hell am I gonna take Hulk on? So when he opens his eyes and Hulk is right there, he freaks. Like, he freaks out. He's like, why is the Hulk here? Why is he here? But, you know, Gene and everybody else are like, calm down. He's with us. He's on our side. But I'm gonna end this one right here. This one was Jimmy's first mix-up, so of course it didn't go too well. Over the years, he does get better. And I'll do other videos later on of his other appearances and other battles as well too. And if you enjoyed the content of this channel, hit that subscribe button. Smash the like for this video. And if you want to see me do a follow-up for this one, just leave the comments below as well too. Let me know as well too, because Gene actually made a deal with Hulk. Like, before James had woken up, Hulk freaking wrecked Sabretooth, like, ridiculously. And I'll do another one on that if you guys want me to. It just depends on what the comments are like below. And I got some links up for you guys to check out the rest of my videos. Shout out to all my new subs, and good luck to everyone on the giveaway contest. Link below for that, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, later.